Preparing now. Okay, got it. Okay, you can start. Ready. You are muted. Wait, you are muted. Yes.
Hi, Miss.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Yeah.
Evening.
Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. Okay. I think Mr. Yu is very passionate, to want to share about DSA to the School of Science and Technology, which is to me is a thing that I do not know. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing with us. And I think there's a lot of parents who wants their children to go to School of Science and Technology. So yes, do share with us what you know, okay, and all the benefits for the parents who wants the children to use DSA as a route to the school to actually go for a future that is related to science and maths.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Lock. Yeah, hello parents. I'm Mr. Howard Yu. In fact, this school is called the School of Science and Technology. This school has been specially set up by MOE, I think also in collaboration with some of the militaries and technologies organization in Singapore like MINDEF and DS and SST and DESTA. So this school, the mission is to train the future technocrat or those people who are passionate in science to help Singapore to develop its technologies so that we can have a cutting edge technology in our nation. So I'd like to do a screen share of some slides here for your enlightenment.
Yes, certainly. To me, it's a very new topic, yeah, because to share, a lot of parents actually bring their children for DSA, okay, but not all of them actually got accepted. And actually, I can say majority didn't, because I was one of the parents back in 2019 that I know a lot of parents because my child was in PSLE then. So we also were very puzzled, yeah, what kind of criteria they have. So that's why I found Mr. Yu, who has the experience of being actually in the action of training group of students before they go for the DSA selection, right?
Yes. So actually, you can see this slide is actually I prepared last year. In fact, last year I conducted this training on site as well as online. So I will just run through briefly what DSA is looking for, SST in DSA is looking for. So I'm very thankful that through my experience, I have the opportunity to interact with this astronaut. So astronaut, is the top-notch scientist or in science.
That's right.
Yeah. So I did share with the student to inspire them. If you want to be top-notch, right? You got to expose yourself either through training or through or other forms of learning technologies. So I have developed this acronym because DSA, one of the things in SST, they're looking for somebody who is unique in their thinking.
Unique.
So I use this word forensic to represent the attitude the students should have. So number one, they must have the fortitude. Okay, they must have the fortitude. And this omniscient is actually all-knowing. Only God has this ability. So we human, we are limited. So we must know our limitations. Yeah. And then relationship, how the things are connected with each other. That means they must have a holistic understanding of not just science, but how science can integrate with maths, how maths can integrate with maybe even languages or arts. Yeah, and then this is endurance. This is a 4 years program. Yeah, it's a O levels program. So at the end of 4 years, the student actually takes the same O level as other mainstream secondary school. Yeah. Okay, one very interesting thing, because as you know, our nations and even the world is moving towards environmental education. So in SST, they also have an arm to develop about nature. For example, like horticulture on things that are related to nature. And of course, everything is encompassed by scientific investigation. And they must make reasonable conclusive evidence, or come to the give the lecturers or their teachers some conclusive things, they have found out from their investigation. So that's why I developed this acronym Fortitude. Yeah.
Very interesting, great.
And then in my past experience, this is actually one of the article I contributed to a news article. If you see actually inside here, there are two considered top scientists in Singapore. They are in the defense technology. One of them actually developed this thermal scanner, which is used prevalently during the SARS period to detect the thermal temperature difference, so that they can identify people with fever. So this technology is actually developed at first for the military, but was subsequently declassified to civilian use. So, and then the other person that I know personally is, you can see this largest floating platform, which I think this year will resume our National Day there after 2 years of so-called lockdown. So they will have this, this person actually is quite creative. Yeah. Both of this person I know personally. So why I want to bring them up?
Innovative, right? To use
they are very
innovative platform.
Yeah, they're very innovative. So I'm standing beside these two scientists. One is on my, here is Mr. Tan. He's the one that so-called designed the thermal scanner, or use it for civilian. And then on this side is Mr. Yo, the one who is the mastermind behind the floating platform. So scientific relationship, because this thing is very common in secondary school. They learn about biology, physics, geology. But as you go higher level, because SST is also, I believe in years to come, they'll be pursuing towards astronomy. Because Singapore, we haven't sent any astronaut to space yet. We are still behind Malaysia. Malaysia has sent astronaut. So,
I see.
Yeah. So I hope that we can inspire students to achieve that.
That's right.
Yeah. And then here we talk about astronomy. And for myself, I'm also quite interested in this. So these are some of my findings. In fact, actually the Bible talked about this thousands of years ago, before scientists even discover this star called the Arcturus. Yeah, because Arcturus, has only been discovered less than 100 years using the Hubble telescope. But back then, thousands of years ago, God actually mentioned this in the Bible. Arcturus, So you can see the relative size of Arcturus compared to our sun.
Correct. So much bigger.
Yeah. So one of my things is to challenge students to think out of the box. Because operational science you can do in experiment. Forensic or historical science, you can't repeat the experiments. It's based on some archaeological evidence or history book. So, like for example, I challenge this because many people believe in this Big Bang theory, but so I counter them by thinking using the second law of thermodynamics to so-called refute that the Big Bang is actually not true.
Biggest lie.
Yes, because I mentioned that I published this book in my PSLE Science Reasoning, that we don't need rocket science. Because if you believe Big Bang, right, you actually believe this, you believe that a pile of bricks can form into a house by itself.
Sounds really impossible.
And then also about this thing, evolution. So I also challenge students about, hey, look at this animal here. Some adults, even children, they believe that this animal, the so-called the Stegosaurus, were extinct like millions of years ago. But you see, if you challenge them to think, hey, if this animal here, people can engrave on the stone, that time they do not have internet, no camera. How would they have the idea to engrave this on the stone? So by logical reasoning, quite likely they have seen this animal. So if they have seen that animal, it cannot be extinct millions of years ago. So I always challenge students to think out of the box. So this is through scientific reasoning. and also scientific critical analysis, and also ask them, what do you think are maybe the next 10 years, what is the world heading towards? What type of scientific development? Yeah, so I challenge them with these reflective questions, and then also truth versus falsehood in some values. And I believe that in the next 10 years, the world will be pursuing these 5 elements. And I also hope that the Singapore government will also create platforms for our youth to enhance their passions or even capabilities in these 5 areas. Yeah, which I think SST is a good platform to start with. Yeah, because the government has invested a lot of money in SST in producing very good labs for the student to do various type of experiments. Yeah.
So right. And a lot of children are so interested, right, in like yes. drones.
Yeah, in drones, yeah, correct, yeah.
Correct. Actually, my son likes bio, so he's in Sec 3 right now. So yes. Yeah, and then he's being given exposure to doing research as well. So I think it's very interesting if your children wants to go into the science area, and DSA to science and technology is really very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have finished my slide sharing. I think the other element parents would be interested is, what are the questions being asked, right?
Yeah, because you said that there's round 1, there's also round 2, right?
Yes,
so yeah, usually round 1 should be questions on paper, right? I mean, yes. I guess, yeah. Yeah, so maybe you can show us example, yeah, or what kind of question, or just one example.
Okay, hold on. Let me share with you. I actually produced this worksheet last year.
Wow. Yeah, I heard that you have been giving training for the past 5 years, right?
Yeah. And I'm also quite thankful. Every 5 years, there are students under my training successfully get in.
Oh, yeah. So those parents who want your child to go in successfully for DSA to School of Science Technology, yes, please go and find Coach Howard, okay? So
thank you.
Success.
So, yeah, you can see here, actually, this question actually is daily life, we encounter this, especially if you like to cook or you like to bake. So we need ingredients to make a certain, maybe cookie or something. So in this question, it specified that Carrie, right, she has this ingredient, 6 kilograms of flour, 3 kilograms butter, and icing sugar, all this. And here is a list of ingredients for making 24. Okay, that means this ingredient can make exactly, exactly 24 chocolate chip cookies. So given a new sets of data here, the candidate will be asked to calculate what is the maximum number of chocolate cookies she can make.
Okay. I'll tell you, children will say, so complicated, don't know how to answer. Yeah. So you need training, right?
Yeah, and then this is a multiple choice question. That means this one is actually the student need to do it very fast and accurate.
Okay, 50 questions, right? If I'm not wrong. 50 questions.
The number of questions varies, but the objective is to, just like, in the past, you have this GEP, right?
Yes.
GEP questions.
IQ
I did mark the GEP paper before the round 1. So the number of questions provided, usually a normal academic student, they can't complete it within a stipulated time because they want to sieve out those very good ones. So similarly for the DSA round 1, right, in SST, if you are not fast enough, you may not be able to even finish like 70% of the questions.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why exposure to my training gives the student the advantage.
Correct.
Yeah, because once you know this method, you already reduce the time to think through how to start.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's very automatic. Yeah, just like you learn a new skill, right? Just like riding a bicycle.
Yes.
If you know how to pedal, you know to consider which leg should I put on the bicycle first. Yeah, so early exposure has an advantage.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's why I conduct.
Exposure, right? Yeah, familiarity, the questions. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one example of such questions.
Yes. So yes, there is there is really training that can help your child to get an advantage over others. And this is how it's going to be. It's really very important, right? To know what kind of question come up. So what about round 2? What are the criteria they are looking for so that your child can score better? Yeah.
Okay, round 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Round 2 is interview. So the student need to be very fast in thinking. I mean, I encourage them to be as natural as possible, and then just share what they think. But sometimes they may give you a scenario to see how you respond. In the past, they also have a group experiment. Yeah, there's been, they will see whether the child can work as a team with people. They don't want like those lone ranger.
Like leader, but not collaborator kind.
Yeah, so they want somebody who can collaborate. Yeah.
Okay.
So that actually is a very important.
So when you answer a question, try to say things like a team player, or you like to work with others. I think that will help you a lot, right?
Yes, I like to share maybe some of the past years, because before COVID, right? SST, they have a physical open house.
Oh, I see.
So almost every year I make effort to bring student there.
This year is also not
yeah, this year is also not, yeah.
Okay.
So you can see this was in 20, you can see the screen share, right?
18.
Yeah, 2021, 11 June. So usually it's on a Saturday. All the SST open house was on a Saturday. Yeah. And actually this student was one of my first students. You can see she's wearing the SST.
So proud of her. Yeah.
So I'm very thankful. So I also wear my uniform to take a photo with her.
Nice.
So she's
very happy there, right? She's very happy.
Yeah, she's very happy there. Yeah. And she was my former student. She requested me to train her to qualify for the school. Yeah. So they are having some CCA demonstration.
Yeah, be prepared. You see that. Yeah, if not, you go there, it's just exposure. You don't get anything out of it, Yeah.
Yeah, you can see also down here, they are doing some hands-on for the student. Yeah, using the electronic pipette, I think, to suck out some specimens and then for investigation. Yeah, and then this one is also doing some hands-on on blood type reaction. This blood typing reaction. So as you know that we got all this blood type. Yeah, this is one of my former students. So they are giving this hands-on experience to build the atomic structure of certain compound. Yeah, you should notice there's a drone here. This is actually the time 2016. 2016, Singapore is actually trying to integrate drone education in the student. So this is something quite creative, a butterfly drone.
Wow. So
designed by the SST student.
Right. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, wonderful pictures. Yeah, and then I can see the children are so happy, doing the really hands-on with science plus technology, which is, I think, is the most important. I feel in this era now, this is a very up and coming technology. Like yesterday I had a Zoom about future-proof your children. So it really gels very well, that if we expose our children to technology and science, right, it's really another way of them to go forward.
Yeah, so this is one of my students also. He's Sec 4 now. Actually, you can see that is behind. His dad actually intentionally asked me to train him to qualify for this school.
Correct.
Yeah,
really must.
So he's Sec 4
parents, right? Yeah, parents who have they have the wisdom, I say, to help their children succeed. Yeah.
So that's a little preview of what SST offer. So if you believe that your child has this scientific inclination, maybe it's your first time hearing there's such a school. In fact, not
correct.
Maybe at least 50% of the P6 parents, they are not familiar with this school. This school actually is located very near to Dover MRT. Okay. Yeah, so Dover MRT is about 7 minutes walk to the school. It's Dover Road. So I believe if your child, because the closing date for all DSA has been over, right?
Yes, I think
so now I think for this sharing is to give those students
P5 students this year.
DSA, because from what I understand, the first round for this round 1, right, will be happening on 22nd June. So actually, this coming Sunday, on request from parents, right, I'm conducting a training this Sunday. So just let me do a quick screen share here.
Yes.
Yeah, this one. So this training is on 19 June, Sunday, is 3:45. It's about just 2 hours.
19th of June, yeah.
Yeah, so it's conducted in my center. Okay, this photograph was taken last year. You can see I limit to
social distancing.
Yeah, social distancing, right? Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so for those who want their child to go into School of Science and Technology, yeah, this is a chance to learn from Mr. Yi, and then get the chances of success to go into the school, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. To me, I only know certain schools, like NUS High. Actually, I didn't know about SST. Okay, so
yeah, SST is actually quite interesting. Yeah.
Nice.
And if your child is passionate in science, and maybe the child may be asking, hey, where I can get the training. So now at least you know there's such trainer available.
Correct. And not just go there, just say, oh, we're going to try, I mean, I'm one of the parents who did that, So I think to have success, really needs action.
Yeah, it's quite competitive from what I understand.
I'm sure.
In the past few years, right, there were about 1,002 to 1,005 people who applied.
Okay.
But eventually, I think only about 240 students are selected. Every cohort, about 200 to 240.
So less than 20%, right?
Yeah, yes.
So yeah,
so there's round 1 and round 2. So round 1 is the academic part where I'm training them, like the question I shared. So once you pass round 1, round 2, I will train them about the interview skills and also experimental skills. Yeah.
Wow, awesome.
Because this year, I believe that they're also resuming the physical round 2. Yeah, in the past, they did conduct the group experiment observation and also the face-to-face interview with the candidates.
Okay, so
yes.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing. And it's not only for P6 this year, but also for parents who are having their children P5. Yes, if you're interested in letting your child, especially their children actually wants to go into this science arena, yes, do get in touch, to start training, okay, before you go for the DSA so that you get success, okay? Yes. Thank you so much. On Sunday, you still share with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Yi.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank you.